I saw people get whipped, tased, beaten. Like, it was bad.
Welcome back to another episode of Third Wheeling, the podcast, third without the I. And if you're here, that means you probably didn't hate us last time. I'm Levanti.
And I'm Justin Barish.
And today we are joined by a very special guest, one of our really great friends who we met on social media, and then she became an IRL friend, Miss Reagan Yorke.
Woo!
You guys. Hi, mama. There she is.
I'm so excited to be here. My name's Reagan. I'm a video creator, lover of all movies, anything social media. And I'm literally honored, you guys. I'm so honored.
We are so happy to have you. It's literally, this is the dream right here. Like, it's so funny, our trajectory. Like, we met at an event, and now we're here on a podcast, all three of us.
We're a tricycle.
We're
Literally a tricycle. I'm honored to be at Third Wheel with you guys.
We're honored to have you. Honestly, I feel like, well, to get started with it, I knew you before I knew you. And I've said this to you before. I've said it to you time and time again. But I remember scrolling through TikTok back during like the Content House days.
This not the hype house.
No.
Where it's like, dun, 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 dun.
I wish I did that, but I did something a lot worse.
I don't think it was.
You're like, I went to jail.
No, I did. And you guys found all the tea on this that when you first brought this up, I was like, they know.
Yeah.
They know.
To me, though, it was iconic. So I was scrolling through and there was this new Content House all over TikTok called The Wave House.
Ooh,
oh my God.
Not the wave.
The beach.
You know, I saw them before I joined and like I got a Zoom call and it was just like, want to come to England? And I was like, this is a scam. I didn't think it was real at first, but yeah, I was part of a TikTok cult. It was very scary.
Literally
Yeah.
a cult, because for those who don't know what the Wave House is, what it was introduced as was basically this huge mansion in the UK where all these people were wearing these like star-studded bedazzled masks.
Yes.
So no one knew who was in this house until every week they were doing a reveal.
Yes. And Reagan's reveal, Reagan,
Oh no.
you want to talk about it?
It was the most dramatic moment of my life. And it was like the setup and the planning to that. They were like, what fun thing do you want? And I was like, I want a bald eagle. I didn't know about.
You chose it.
Yes.
You-
Yes.
You were like, I want an eagle to fly down.
But the thing was, I said bald eagle and they were like, did you know the bald eagle is the size of a dog? And I was like, oh, I'll hold it. And they were like, that's literally a huge animal. I thought it was like a small little thing, like a little.
Wait, me
ferret.
too.
Wait,
That's
why-
what I
No,
Why did I think it was an owl? Was it an owl?
it was a hawk.
Oh,
He said no to the bald eagle, which makes sense.
okay.
But that the whole theme was like, oh, I'm from America and the whole house was British. So I was like, bald eagle, American. Like that
You're
was
like-
my like intro.
You're like,
So-
USA. She's like, yeah.
That's literally what it was. I was just there for the bird. And yeah, didn't get the bald eagle, got the hawk.
Yeah.
Basically what happened was Reagan like steps up with her mask on and she puts her hand up and then we're like, what is she doing?
Mhm.
And this hawk
Eagle.
flies over
Oh.
to her arm. It lands on her arm and she rips her mask off to reveal herself. And that is how I was like, I knew who Reagan was
We're like,
before I even knew her.
Who is that?
Yeah, who is that?
As for that, it looked like it was smooth, like the whole mask thing. I took like 7 takes of that and I had to hold like raw meat in my hand. So it like ate it.
Mhm.
But the first time I did it, I fell down the steps.
Oof.
It was so bad on
Me
camera.
every day.
I was like, it was filming like a reality show at the same time.
Yeah.
And I remember falling down the steps and it wasn't even like a funny thing. Everyone was silent because they were like in shock.
Yeah.
I was like, this is good. But I got the eagle moment.
Did the eagle have a name? What was
I
Eagle's
feel like
name?
it did because the owner was like best friends with it. Like
Yeah.
that thing would fly around the house and then come back to her hand.
No
I
way.
was like, I want a pet. I want a pet bird.
So what actually happened like in this house? Like what went down? Like what, you were just living there making content? Were you like friends with these people? Like,
because
was it?
before it started, like when it was happening, I think all I ever saw of it was the intros to everybody, and then I never saw it on my feed again.
Yeah, that's kind of why it didn't work. Like, it was a fun time and we all like we were best friends at the end of it. But it was more just like we were trying to build a whole content house with video that was after the intros, like of actual videos.
Mhm.
But we kind of just got swept up in all of like the hype from that and then comparing ourselves to the like 10 million views and it just never hit the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was more for the experience. I was like, I'm gonna just go to England, have a fun time, meet some people,
Mhm.
get some videos out there. I said a coffee name wrong and it like went viral. And so that's the only reason I have a blue check on Instagram because of
For the coffee.
my mistake of saying the coffee name wrong.
So now all
Yeah.
of these people that you know or you met, are you still friends with them? Or
Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
still all talk. We like go on trips once a year. We'll go to like Greece.
Oh.
So it's like this whole thing. I hope it happens this year.
Okay, Lindsay
Uh-uh.
Lohan and Mykonos. She's
I
like,
try. I'm like, okay,
club.
wave house to this. I mean, I'll take it. But yeah, we still talk. It's just fun to like have like my little British family over there.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's interesting that like you can like make like really good friendships like through social media because like normally like social media is very fabricated. So it's like how you make like genuine connections is like kind of powerful, like that you can do that across like online. Because I know like we go to a ton of events and it's like the people that we meet are very like surface level and like don't really come across as like genuine kind people. Whereas like we met you and it's like we were friends instantly.
Yeah.
So it's like how is that?
Well,
How's
also,
that?
I do want to preface this to say, because we are very good friends now, and I can be honest with you. When we were at this event that Justin mentioned and when we first met you, I remember we walked in and I'm pretty sure I wrote off everybody there. Like, I was like, these people are just like so into themselves, so stuck up. And we were just like being with each other. Even people we like knew, when they talked to us, I was like, oh, that felt so icky. But then we actually didn't get to talk to you until later in the event. And when we did, it was you, Danny, just you and Danny, I think, actually. And we were like, wait, they're so cool. Like, why? I was like, I wrote off the right people, but not Reagan and Danny. Like,
Yeah.
you guys were genuine people. And I think that speaks a lot to like how social media can seem surface level, but you're not a surface level person.
Yeah.
Oh no, I would say the exact same thing when I met you guys because that event also was just very random. Like no one knew what was happening. We're just kind of floating around like humans. And then when I saw you guys and we talked and it wasn't even about anything that was going on. It was just like, hi, what do you do for fun? What's up? Like,
No,
how
literally.
are you?
And we're planning that trip.
Yeah.
That's the suicide flight.
Okay,
The
this trip,
suicide flight.
this trip, we talk about it. I think every time we see each other,
we're
it's
like,
gonna happen.
This trip happening.
After
What's
this
going
podcast,
on
I have my bag, and
Should
we're
we
gonna
go?
go to Vegas
tonight?
We're gonna go to.
Mind you, riddle me this.
Explain a suicide flight.
I'm going to explain to you what this is because I was roped into this by these two insane, crazy people. A suicide flight is not as bad as it sounds, but what it is, if you live in LA, it is a flight where you get on the plane with just the clothes on your back, usually going out in party clothes, and you fly to Vegas around midday. You stay all day into the night, into the morning. You don't get a hotel, you get nothing.
No.
And you fly out that next morning and go back home. You spend a full 12 to almost 24 hours in Vegas, and you just get right back on the plane because it's such a short flight.
Sounds like a blast to
I
me.
was gonna say
Like,
you
sounds super
reacted.
fun.
Yeah, he seems like it's a bad thing. I'm here for it. I think you'll come to love it.
Our tickets are booked.
Yeah.
We're ready. Let's go.
I'm down to clown. I'm just like, when will this happen? I need to make sure my mental health is in check. I need to make sure I have a proper amount of sleep. But, you know,
I think it's one of those things you can't think too hard about. You just go. So I feel like that's the vibe.
Yeah.
We're just gonna hop on a plane. You guys will see us all doing that at some point
We
That
will.
is
very
true.
soon.
We will.
yeah, I think too, like, even like having conversations like these, it's like, I feel like we have built like a genuine connection beyond like everything we do in our daily lives. Like,
Mhm.
we go to events, you come to events, like we work together kind of basically now. It's just very like, it's refreshing. Like, it shows us that we can, everybody who has like a social media following, like there is a possibility that you can make friends on it, but also off of it. And I
Yeah.
think, what is your experience? Because like you obviously have been in content for a minute, which I'm going to get into something in a second, but
Oh no.
Oh no.
have you made more friends, do you feel like, through social media or like in real life instead of that, like off the platforms?
Yeah, I think it's really important to have the balance of the two.
Mhm.
But it's like now, since I've been doing it for so long, I kind of know which events I want to place myself at to be around the right people. So it's like I'll meet people in the beginning, early days, that it was more like to grow your channel, to see what you're doing. And it was very intense and intimidating. And it was like, oh, we'll get coffee. But like, it never felt like a real connection.
Mhm.
Now it's like, I almost immediately know within meeting someone. It's like 5 seconds in, I'm like, your energy, it's great. So you can kind of like feel it now. It's a weird thing that's like hard to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once you know, like you guys, it was
Yeah.
like 5 seconds in.
Mhm.
And now I'm a third wheel.
Now you're a third wheel.
Literally.
Real friends versus fake friends.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Let's dive.
Yeah.
Let's dig. Because a lot of those people that we're like referencing, it's like they're not bad. they're just
Not my cup of tea.
not my cup of tea and come across very like they don't give a shit about you and they're just kind of like using you to get to the next step in life. They're like, yes.
Yeah.
They're like talking to you, looking around, eyes are darting everywhere, and you're like, okay, let's just like cut it. Cut the cameras.
Mhm.
I think there's like buckets you place friends into. So it's like rather than real versus fake, it's like the way I do it is like, who will I call in a time of need? Like if I get, God forbid, into a car accident or like I lose something, I can't get in my house, like who am I going to call to like rescue me essentially? And I know they'll answer. And then there's like your party friends, your social friends.
Mhm.
And those people are the people you see on the weekends only at events or at night things. And you'll never call them for help, but you have a great conversation with them.
Mhm.
And then there's just like acquaintances. And the acquaintances are people I will probably never hang out with. I'll say hi to them, never call them for help. Probably don't even follow them on social. And if I do, it's like because I was drunk one night and I clicked the follow button. Like
That's good to have the 3 categories though,
Mhm.
because when I first went into it, I was like, I need to show everyone the same amount of attention and like
Mhm.
put in the effort to like, I don't know, be there for every single person, which is not possible. I'm like, if you're meeting 50 people a week, it's like you can get stressed and tired immediately.
That's
So it's good to have your buckets.
That's exhausting.
don't you have like a trick for
What?
remembering people you meet when you're out? Didn't you have like a trick
Yes.
for that? What is it?
Well,
Because I remember you had one.
like saying like remembering their names or like what are you talking about?
Well, for me, remembering their names, I always say like you have to say it 3 times in conversation.
Yeah.
But something you're good at is writing it down.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
After every night of like going out, I always text the people I meet to just like remember in my brain. I'm like, okay, this is so and so. This is a fun fact about them. And I'll like text them and be like, hey, so great seeing you. Love talking about this, yada, yada, yada. And then that will forever be ingrained in my brain. And I'm a people person. So I'm like,
You are.
even if I don't do that, I will remember you.
Mhm.
That's
good and
smart.
bad
I'm
things.
trying to think of what text you sent me, and I'm like, I definitely texted you after that.
Yeah,
night.
because I'm like, hey.
Honored.
Wait, Reagan, you changed my life. Like dead ass, you did. You did.
You get emotional.
I'm not kidding. Literally,
Oh, and I'm
for
crying.
all's watching,
The tissues.
I'm crying. This was before I did like social media, like anything. I was just out in LA working, being a +1, you know. You know how it is.
You aren't just a +1. Let's just say that right now. We all know this. We all know
I'm
you
a
are that.
+1.
You're the main act.
Period.
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 Period, babes. We need dual income.
Yeah, you're like, get your bag, get your job.
No, literally. And you were like, you need to start posting like now. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I don't think it's for me. And you were like, no, you need to do it. And I was like, okay, done.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
200,000+ followers later, and
Here
now
we are.
you're doing a podcast.
And now we're doing a podcast.
As you should.
Mhm.
And I remember
And that's
thinking,
all thanks
like,
to you.
I just had to say it to you because you were you're so excited about the world. You were just like, I'm just like watching it from afar. I don't want to be a part of it. But I was like, you have the energy, put it out there. Be in
Yeah.
front of the camera. And you did it.
Ugh,
You have your filter videos. You blew up.
you're the best.
I did them.
And
I
if
stand.
anybody knows who can blow up, it would be Reagan. You want to know why?
Why?
Because Miss Reagan has been in this game for a hot minute.
A minute.
Reagan, we did do a deep stalk on you, and I was always curious as to your origin story. What was like your villain origin story?
Oh
And
my God.
Reagan's villain origin story was that she was a Musical.ly girl. She was that girl on Musical.ly.
She was whipping that phone around, doing the sounds like,
And-
yeah, yeah.
know-
Whoa, whoa.
Before we let her plead her case, I do have to give it to her. I did read a stat I think you had on your LinkedIn that
It's always LinkedIn.
you would live stream on Musical.ly and get close to like 180,000 people watching you.
I go, it's always a good and bad thing when I'm like, I've been doing this for 10 years because some of the videos that are way back there, I'm just like, they should not be on this planet. And it's fine though, it's growth. But the Musical.ly, the people that did the hand thing,
Mhm.
they were like the cool kids. I was like an editor, so I would like do special effect green screen videos.
Oh, okay.
So I was
yeah.
like flying around like dragons. It was really amazing.
You're like a CapCut girly.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
I would have loved CapCut.
Yeah.
I would have loved that. But yeah, I would like live stream and like teach editing special effects to little kids.
Oh
But
my
every single
God.
time it was the same tutorial. Because
Yeah.
I only knew one thing, green
So-
screen.
You were like, here's how to stitch yourself flying around on a magic pony. And kids are like, yes, Reagan, we love you. We stand you. We fucking will buy anything you sell.
No, that's literally what I did. You should see like some of these videos. I'm like throwing cannonballs and like literally flying across like the clouds. And I'm like in my living room, like pretending I'm like doing this whole thing.
Now that's like
It's
a
just-
cool skill that can like transfer into like, I don't know, a career.
Well, think about it. So, well, first of all, congratulations because you just graduated.
Oh my
So
Thank you so
You're-
much. I feel like it's just like on the side now. I'm like, it's done. Weight is off my shoulders. And I'm just like, that happened.
yeah, but like you have like these crazy cool skills that like you probably learned before college and now you have to use after college. Like, what do you feel like this transition is like or is going to be like when you like move right from the college mindset to like your career? Like, do you think it's going to be like a culture shock to you or a smack in the face, or are you ready for it?
Yeah.
I feel like the whole time my mindset has more been like college has just been I've pushed it to the side and tried to just get through with it. But creatively I've met a lot of people, like cool people in my college classes. But at the same time, I was like, I'm focusing just on like my social media creative video stuff because that's where my passion was. And I was like, I can't not let that go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the shift, but I'm kind of like in the same mindset where I've always been doing this mainly. So it's going to be a smooth transition, but I'm just glad to not like take astronomy class for no reason.
Yeah.
So I did it, but I'm like, I am focusing more now on like the fun thing. So it's exciting.
Yeah. Because I think like no one really talks about like the phase after college where it's like before like work, but also like you're still like a kid. So it's like this weird kind of phase where you're like trying to like figure out like your career, your passions, but then also like you're trying to figure out what the fuck you're doing in life.
Yeah.
So like you're about like we're in it kind of right now. Like you're in it too. Like I feel like you kind of like sped through college like to just like do it on like the side, like to be like, "Ooh." But now like we're in it. We're in the
Yeah.
thick of it.
Well,
No.
Get ready.
there's like a lot of discourse right now. So I do have like a question for all of us to kind of answer. Do you feel where we are now in our lives? Like, do you feel college was fully necessary for you? And do you think it's necessary for people in general? I can start.
Go ahead.
Please.
Lead
Because
the
like
way.
we all had very probably different college experiences. I know we did, and I have a feeling we did too. So
Yeah.
mine was at this college in upstate New York, private school. I went to school for television media. I feel like it was very crucial to what I do now because I did not have a media program growing up. So I did media in college. I got internships through my college and did all that stuff. So I feel like where I am now, social media and my corporate job, I kind of needed to go to school. Not only that, I think I needed to leave home and experience college and other people outside of my like Long Island bubble. So I personally think it's necessary for me, definitely. For other people, super dependent on what you want to do.
Mhm.
If you want to be, if you want to go do something that's in a trade school, don't go to college, go to a trade school and learn your trade and be an expert, do apprenticeships. But if you want to do like a corporate 9-to-5 job,
Yeah.
a lot of the times, like, yes, they might not check your degree, but it's good to have it.
Mhm.
I think, that's my take on it.
It's kind of crazy that they expect 17-year-old kids to know exactly what they want to do as soon as they enter the like, are you kidding? I changed my career degree like 8 times before I graduated.
And that's fine.
I had a
I'm the
major.
same way. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was always doing film studies, but I was like all over the place with what my future goal was.
Right.
But I think college for me, I needed to move out and figure out how to do laundry and
Yeah.
live as a human and
Mhm.
cook. So it was like that transition to like living in a dorm
Mhm.
was like, I needed to be shoved out and just thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
It's good in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And-
yours was very crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go into
Well-
this.
Guys, you would not believe where I went to college. You would not believe.
Do you know?
Do you know? No?
This is suspenseful.
You don't
yeah.
know?
No.
Okay, get ready, girl.
Drum roll.
Here we go.
Going to the University of Alabama. Yeehaw!
Alabama as a little gay boy.
No.
Oh.
No.
Mother Tide. Yeah.
This is actually, I should have gone on your LinkedIn.
No,
This is
you
a
should-
secret. Why haven't I never heard
His
this?
LinkedIn's
No.
private.
Oh,
Yeah. You
I
would not.
see why.
You
Yeah.
would
I
not
can
think-
see why now.
No, but first of all, why did I go there? I have no idea. It was like at a time in my life where I'm like, I'm straight. I'm straight. I want a big college campus. I want to be in a fraternity. My gay ass in a fraternity. And yes, I did rush one. And yes, I got in. They
I
let
got the
my little gay fairy ass into a fraternity. I'm not going to say which one because I don't need people coming for me, but yeah. Yep.
I'm surprised you went through with this. So did you enjoy it?
No. Oh my God. No. It was traumatizing. These people, again, like, were not my friends. Like, they were bullying me, like, hazing the out of me. Like, well, not me personally, because they kind of like protected me because I
my-
was like their gay token and they were like, we need him for like diversity. But I saw people get whipped, tased, beaten. Like, it was bad, guys. And then there's me kind of like, what's going on? Like, It was bad. But yeah.
Is there a song, a chant? Like, what is this, camp?
No, literally. So now you're going to beat the shit out of me and want to be friends with me after. That part I didn't get. So I was like, you know what? I'm done here. Also, it costs $4,000 a year to be in.
You never told me any of this. I'm like in shock right now.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh my God.
I never did the sorority life. I was always on the side, and some of my friends did, but like, oh my God, I would have never guessed that you would put yourself through that.
Yeah, why did I do that? So that's kind of like what I wanted out of college. But then I got there and things weren't it. I like, why would I be in a fraternity? So I'm like, let me stop that, focus on school, entered like this like weird, like, what am I doing here at Alabama? Wanted to transfer, but then I was like, I'll stick it out. Whatever. Graduated, fine. College, people hype it up so much, and it's like, that was just a phase of my life. Like, I'm not living in my college days. It was a moment. Now we're here, which so much better after college, in my opinion. But to answer your question, I think people need to go to college to learn people skills, to be around new groups of people so that you're not an hole in life.
Yep.
So it's like, go learn how to live on your own, learn how to socialize with people who don't think the same as you, because we can't all be in this like one-minded way. That's what's bad with society. But do I think you need it to be successful? No, absolutely not. I haven't used my degree or skills one time. Please.
Yeah. Well,
What was your degree? Just really quick.
PR and management.
and
so-
was your
Okay.
degree film?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, like I personally, so like thinking about when I talk to my friends from home and like other people, like a lot of people will do college, I feel like, to get that social experience solely for that. And a lot of people that I met, like probably my first 2 semesters, I'd be like, oh, like, where did that person go? And they're like, oh, they transferred home because like they weren't doing well in school, but they were partying, having a good time. And I feel like, yes, like with the people skills, like it is super important to learn people skills, but I think making friends was a huge part of it. Is like, I was the only person from my hometown or even like remotely near it at that school. Like I went to Ithaca College.
Yeah.
Only person there from where I was from. So like I had to learn how to make friends on my own. And I think that's something really hard to do even as an adult. So especially like, I think for us, it's a little bit different, but
Yeah.
for you, like as a straight woman, I think we've experienced some of our like girlfriends have a hard time because it is a bit harder. Like for you, do you feel like you struggle to make girlfriends out here or even guy friends?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because even college, when I met like my core group of girlfriends there, they're the same ones that I still hang out with now. It's like when you meet your people, you stick with it and nothing can compare to like that amount of comfort. And so I still have like my 2 college roommates that I would always like, I lived with. But yeah, I feel like there is a little bit of pressure when it's like, it's kind of like a battle between, are we competing in a sense? Some people are just very, I mean, Ellie's cutthroat.
Girls
so it's
are
like,
evil too.
yeah,
Girls are
scary.
evil. Like they're
my God.
nasty. Like I see how they like glare at each other
Yeah.
down. They eye you up, but it's the same thing in like the gay world too. Everyone's eyeing each other up, but like
I was gonna
it's
say,
easier
like,
to.
oh, you're attacking the women out here. I'm like,
No.
It's like they're all crazy.
I love
Yeah.
women. I'm straight for them. I'm obsessed with you guys. But but I think like as like gay men, it's like we have a community there that we can like tap into at any time. But as like a straight girl, it's like, do you DM people? Do you go out to a bar and you're just like, hey girls, hey guys?
Like group chat.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've gotten pretty lucky with the people that I have met because it's kind of been like since I've been in this area for so long, I've kind of grown up with some of like my friends. And so it's fun because when you find like the genuine ones, you can kind of stick with them and have like a little comfort there.
Right.
But it is scary sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just like kind of weave my way around those types of situations when people are
Right.
glaring. I'm like, don't fight me. Like I'm not, I don't know. I'm not like a super girly, like sorority type of girl.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I stick with the comfort people.
Right.
I find very sweet people at events and love to meet like the genuine ones. But yeah, it can be intense.
And same thing with like having guy friends too, because it's like you're trying to make friends with a guy, let's say, but he's like, oh, this girl like wants to hook up with me because she's being so nice. So it's like, what is that line? So it's like, how do you make, again, these friendships that are like with men that are like actually
Like
real and not
platonic.
That's
Yeah.
platonic. Yes.
Whereas like for us, it's so funny. Right now is probably the most guy friends I've ever had like in my life.
I've never had male friends.
I've only had
female friends.
only girls. I used to only be with the girls, and I was like, oh, I probably should have known. Was swinging for the other team at that point. Like,
Gay.
yeah, gay. You're gay. I should have known then because I was always with the girls, always doing the girl things. But I do have a really close group of guy friends from my hometown, and I hang out with them all the time. Like, nothing ever feels weird.
Mhm.
But when I would try to insert myself into other guy groups, I felt like they already knew something about me that I didn't know, or I had like this scarlet letter on me where it was like, oh, he's that.
Queer.
Queer. So for those listening, I did the limp wrist. Yeah, it was just weird. But then I came here and I felt like I immediately went from having like this many girlfriends, like up here, like a ton, to from a small amount of guy friends, and it flipped.
Yeah.
Now I have a lot of guy friends and like my normal amount of girlfriends
Mhm.
because there's no like little weird stuff with gay people. It's like, are they just trying to sleep with me? Are we friends? But then it's like, oh, everybody kisses their friends. It's like weird. It's so weird.
It's like everyone
where's the
sleeps with
line?
everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you like what advice can you give like the girls out there? Talking to the
Mhm.
girlies,
I
how do you
think-
handle
Yeah, I think especially when you're saying like the guy groups, it's hard to get into. I very much just stick with like my core girl group.
Mhm.
And then it's like the guys, I love when it's like not a crew. When it's just like people just talk to people. And it's like you don't have to, I feel like that's high school when it's too like awkward to talk to different certain groups. And I'm just like, I'll float around and see what happens. But yeah, my advice, oh my gosh, I think honestly, just don't overthink it and just be the same to everyone. And you'll immediately know which energy you're flowing with.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of like follow your gut because I feel like it's always right.
Yeah, gut feeling. Oh my God.
Yeah. I have a question for you, like off the topic of friends. We were talking about how you like lived in the UK for a little bit. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you go now? Because I was actually just thinking about this for some reason when we were talking about you being at the Wave House. So like,
Yeah, I don't know if I would go back to England
Mhm.
because it was fun, but I was like, we were trapped because we couldn't really drive. Everything was flipped.
You're
Greece.
taking the tube, babes.
Yeah,
You're on
no,
the tube.
I didn't know what it meant. I was just walking around. I don't know
You're
what
like,
I was
what's
doing.
this tube that's people? Where can I get
I'm
this?
like, where? What are they talking about? Yeah, I don't know if I go back to England, but I loved Greece so much that I'm like, I do have this like fantasy where I'm like, I'd love to travel. Maybe I'll just like hop to Hawaii, hop to Greece, anything island, blue skies. I'm like, that's kind of an option in my mind. Maybe it'll happen one day, just somewhere on an island.
yeah.
It's an island girl. She
Island.
I would love it. I would love
Island,
this
yeah.
escape.
Island.
Yeah, where would you go? Wait, you've been thinking about this.
We actually talked about it. We have like a 5 to 10 year plan.
You don't even need to say it.
Oh no.
Ready? Let's say it at the same
Wait,
time.
No.
okay.
Where are we going?
Well, all right. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Australia.
Sydney, Australia.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Done.
Yeah. So we will never shut the up about the fact that we went to Australia, but when we were there, it felt so I don't know. It just felt right. Like something there. I didn't want to leave. It felt just clean. It felt friendly. I felt safe. I loved being able to navigate public transportation as someone who had never been there before. Whereas like here, I still have to use my GPS to go everywhere. Like even to come to this, I was like, he's like, it's downtown. I'm like, I don't know where that is. Like in reality.
Same.
So I think Australia would be ours.
Yeah, it's literally like LA if you picked it out and put it in like an alternate universe.
Yes.
That's like what it was giving.
I was scared when you first brought it up. You were like, "Oh, Australia was so good. Almost didn't come home." I was like, "You would just not tell me and just leave."
Yeah.
It's like you can't do that.
My mom was pissed. She was like, you can't just like leave like that. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna leave. She wasn't pissed. My mom
You're
doesn't
like,
get pissed. She was like, oh, we'd be so upset kind of thing. And my dad was like, you're not moving there like that. And I'm like, you don't really control me anymore. Love you guys.
You're like,
Love you so much. But yeah, I don't know. I just think there's so much more out there in the world than our small bubble of the United States. Like I want to travel. I want to do that stuff. And honestly, hearing that you got to go to the UK and experience that on such like a whim, that's kind of what happened to us. Like it was like, come to Australia with us for this Pride thing. We're like, oh shit, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Australia would be the bit. What did your parents think when you like picked up and went to the UK?
My family's actually British, so it was kind of that's another thing.
Shoo-in.
Like,
These British vibes.
No, literally, my grandparents were like live in England, so I was like, you know what? If I get kidnapped, I have someone to go to. But yeah, they were kind of iffy about it at first because I mean it was a Zoom call and they were like, you're gonna go live with these people. They just called you on the phone, and I was like, it's fine, like it's okay.
Wait.
Yeah,
Do your best British accent. Go.
I was just gonna say,
Go.
I'm literally so bad at it because I used to have one when I was growing up.
No
when I was
way.
a toddler.
Little baby
yeah.
Reagan
No, and then
was British?
I went to school and they were like, you're saying everything wrong. Stop.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, I can say like bowl instead of ball.
bull.
What?
Like how they say bowl.
Bowl.
I'm just like,
I'm thinking
Hello,
like,
governor.
hello, governor. Let's get on the tube, babes. Let's go. That's what I'm
Want some
picturing.
tea and crumpets?
Yeah.
I feel like you're better than me. Like I can't do it. 'Cause
Do
it's just,
it.
like it sounds normal to me.
Come on, Reagan, do it.
No, that's as far as I'm going.
To address maybe like our potential UK audience, that was just in good fun. We love you.
We love you.
We love you,
Love
vibes.
Yeah.
We love you. My
We love you,
family's
vibes.
British. I love you all.
We watch RuPaul's Drag Race UK too. Like, trust and believe.
We're
like,
big fans.
We're
No.
big fans.
You met someone at an event.
Who?
Justin literally almost passed out. Someone walked by from
Yeah.
RuPaul's.
Thinking of like meeting people at events who are genuinely good people. This was a really good example because it could have went either way. So
Guys.
I'll let you do it.
Yeah.
Guys,
Heat
you have
moment.
no idea. We're at something. I
It
have
was
no idea.
the Wolfpack
Yeah.
Paramount
Yeah.
screening.
Yes.
screening, something's, yeah. And it's like not a big group of people, just like very small and
It was intimate.
yeah, very intimate. I look over and I don't fangirl a lot. I'm very like, they're people, whatever. I look over and I see Gigi Good. And for those of you who don't know, which that's wrong of you, you need to learn. Gigi Good is a drag queen and now she's a trans woman and she is an icon, a legend. She's so creative. She is just like the embodiment of beauty. So I literally look over and I see her and I'm like,
And then
like,
That's true. I
I-
saw that.
I looked back when she walked into the screening room and I look at him I'm like, that's Gigi Good. And he goes, no, it's not.
I
no,
like
it's
can't
not.
speak and I literally can't stop staring at her. I'm like literally staring into her soul. I'm like literally looking at her up and down. Like she knows.
Yeah.
She knows I'm staring at her. So I'm like, I have to go say hi. I can't say hi. I have to go say hi. I can't say hi. But then I'm like, it's my one opportunity.
Well,
So I
there was
go
like
up to her.
that conversation we had was like, I was like, if you're going to do it anywhere, you do it here
Yeah.
at an intimate thing. Because
Yeah.
if it's a crowd, then she's going to get bombarded. But here,
Mhm.
no one's really talking to anybody that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. So I go up to her and I'm like, hey, hi. So sorry. I like don't mean to bother you. Like you're like so famous. I'm like so sorry. I'm just like,
He's acting like he was confident. We just shove him into her.
Yeah.
no, literally.
We just shove him in and be like, do it. You
I
did
know.
it though.
And
Yeah.
we looked away and shunned you. We're like,
Yeah.
don't come back
I go-
until you talk to her.
So I'm like, hey, I know you're like super famous and like don't want to hear from me, but like I just want to say like you're gorgeous, beautiful, stunning, you're so creative, you're the best person I've ever met ever. I love you, blah 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 blah. And she's like, how are you? What's your name? Let's chat. And I'm like, oh my God, not her like wanting to get to know me. So like, it was just such a good connection. And like I'm really fortunate that it happened. Like now I just like,
It's a core memory. It's a core memory. They took a
Yeah.
selfie and we were like crying for you.
oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like it just speaks to like the fact of us all, like how we were talking about like meeting you was super genuine and like us meeting was super genuine too when we first met. Like it just speaks to the fact that beyond social media, like there are real people out there with like real personalities and kindness in their heart, like Gigi Good, you, us, all of our friends. Like I think that's super, like a lot of people on the internet don't realize that. And it's like there are surface level influencers, but then there are people who are deeper than that, like us three.
I love you guys so much.
We love you too. On
Love
that
you.
note, though, have you had fun third wheeling with us? Like,
Yeah.
Great time. I feel like we're a band right now. Like we got the
Yeah.
denim on. We got the Levi's band going.
yeah,
on.
we are that crew. We are
Period.
denim.
Denim.
Yeah.
Would
I'm-
you third wheel again with us?
You know, I would.
Yeah.
I think it's a signed deal. I think I'm gonna be back.
Make third wheeling great again.
And
Make it great again.
Good.
before we sign off, I'm gonna have you look into your camera and just say, "My name is Reagan Yorke, and that was me third wheeling with Lewis and Justin."
My name is Reagan Yorke, and that was me third wheeling with Lewis and Justin.
And on that note, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Third Wheeling with me, Lewis Levanti.
And me, Justin Barish. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.
And as always, you can watch us on YouTube, listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. And if you don't, we'll cry.
We will literally come to your house.
We won't do that. Bye.
I'm scared.